Ladies and gentlemen, likers and subscribers, hobbyists, model makers, nerds of all kinds, welcome. I'm the Glue and Paper Guy. Whoa, what's this? Stop the presses. The man wants a curiosity. We'll just have to put aside all of this silly Shrek head business. Look here what we got. There are two kits out there, two patterns, Mars Science Laboratory. We're excited. One of the patterns for the MSL comes from a gentleman who posted to the e-gift shop. I've reached out to John J. Haven't had a reply yet. And the other is a pattern by Julius Perdana, it looks like, on paper replica. Both patterns, of course, available free, links below. And I think what I'm going to do is a tandem build. We're going to do this twice, in simultaneously. John Jay's pattern is well proportioned and well put together, but somewhat simple in comparison to the paper replica. John's got one, two, three, two parts, pages actually. I always print twice because I always screw up parts. So there's John's model in 124 scale. He took the time to write some marvelous directions and a background on MSL, which I enjoyed. Now, I've read and studied and observed and et cetera, so this filled in some blanks, which was a lot of fun. Pictures of the vehicle give a lot of context as you try to build this. We're not going to go for the sky crane for now. I'm going to focus on the Rover itself, and as I said, in a less detailed way and simultaneously in a more detailed way. As you see, was originally created in 2011. Follows what appears to be an almost standardized pattern for paper replica kits. He's taken the time to number. His parts are more detailed. The bogie has greater detail, the wheels greater detail, the body greater detail. On both of these kits, you see somewhere in there a consistency of indication of what's supposed to be cut away, indication of what's supposed to be folded, mountain and valley fold, all very good things. The one thing that troubles me about both kits is the fact that they don't have a ruler on them. Julius is at 1/20th, John at 1/24. The best way to do this always is to have somewhere on the kit a ruler which says this represents, a foot or a meter at scale. That helps when you try to print them. And what I've done here is I've taken the good old-fashioned bright white stock in the same 24-pound weight. I'll put a link or a description in the description. I like it because it has a really smooth texture. It's very white, and it cuts like a dream, folds beautifully, holds a crease, curves very nice as well. So both of these guys are going to be done in that material. Julius's kit makes the bogies dimensional. And I've folded this out, I've laid this out in pages. Let's just try this here. There's a page of parts. There's its twin. There's a page of parts. And as you see, Julius took the time to number his parts, which is incredibly valuable. Another thing, he arranged the parts such that you could print one-to-one to his original intention on most any printer and only lose superfluous things. I ran through some scaling tests with each of these patterns before I did the final print on usable stock. And the intent was to try to make sure I had everything on the page. So yes, in both cases, I managed to get everything on the page and have it one-to-one, which I would assume then would be a near 20-to-1 or 24-to-1 scale. Third page. It's a relatively simple kit too. Of the, on my scale, I'd call this a 2. And as you get into it, what ends up happening is, how are you going to plus it up? The Disney folks, they always want to plus something. They want to make it that much more than it should be. Not for this build. No lighting's required. I could do a base or something out of Sculpey. Yeah. This is a how-to, and this is a let's make it fun and to do the really marvelous thing of helping somebody through something that they truly want to do. So back to John Jay's pattern. Imagine me doing this off the cuff and trying to keep the J people straight. That's going to be fun. John has documented very well, which we'll get to in just a moment. As you see, there's a teaser for you. You see that he's done it part by part. But John has taken the bogies and made them flat. So that'll go on heavy stock. That's a real common thing that I do and a useful trick. I have defaulted to when you see me do it, you'll understand. I've defaulted to the where rough cut PVA on the underside of the part and stick it down. The various glue stick methods and sticker methods that I've used in the past leave me unsatisfied, and I've got kits all over the shop that I've super glued together more times than I can count now, simply because paper and cardboard are layered. It's wood. And if you make a sticker, the sticker's only going to hold as hard as the sticker's going to hold, and it'll peel back. And it's not a pretty sight if that is integral to holding an entire stack, which could be several feet tall, together. As soon as it hits any side forces, separates. The sticker separates from the cardboard. Same thing happens with spray adhesive, although recently I've found that I have greater adhesion if I treat it like contact cement. So if I use spray adhesive both here and here, and then stick it together, God help you, you got to get it right on the first try, but it stays together better. In the end, if you want it to stay together long enough to play with it, you got to use some PVA to hold it down to the cardboard. You're still at risk, but at least it won't separate from the detail, and you get away with it. So there are actually directions for both. Julius's kit is done in the standard paper replica style. There are numbered images, 3D renders pointing to the various bits. Not nearly as detailed as what John Jay has done. This is old school. He listened to, he's obviously a veteran of Tom Noteboom's work as well, because he did it this way. Interesting little scale image, and that's going to be incredibly valuable for reference. But the directions are stepwise photographs. You see, that's where I got into that. He did a finish cut on his bogies, and looks like he used glue stick. Glue stick too. Glue stick dries a little better, but glue stick separates. In John's case, it's just some creative stuff going on here. He's using a straw to hold it together. Well, I got a bin full of straws in the kitchen. And the pins are apparently what holds the wheels so that they'll rotate. That would have to be backed with something to take the other side of the pin and super glue on the outside, not on the inside for obvious reasons. So yeah, I mean, ends up being a very nice bogey, but it's static. It's not going to move, and the detail fails the minute you look down on it or look at it from an odd angle because it's squared. Still easier to produce, which is a good thing. And look at these marvelous directions. Craft knife is our friend, as you can see. I like his extra detail. Hey, fold here, do that, cut slits. This vehicle is a Greebly Forest. There might be opportunities to Greebly the snot out of it. You could do multiple prints. I have 2 copies. I could lay panels on top to add some additional dimensionality to the frame here, the body, I guess. All of these has technical names, and I feel stifled a little bit because I don't know them right now. Just rocks you right through it. How to put it all together. Well, okay. If it's a model of the vehicle, it only goes together one way. So if I don't happen to have the patience to look at the pictures online of the 1s, the 2s, the 6s, and the 9s, I got this. If I'm doing the less detailed at the same time I'm doing this, the parallel should be, blindingly obvious. Recap. Thank you for the suggestion. It's an honor to be asked to do something by a subscriber, and I look forward to it. We have 2 kits, one slightly less detailed, one slightly more detailed, and we're going to be using the I want to say 60-pound bright white paper, PVA, my trusty ruler. It's really getting a whop in it. I've been doing some stuff with foam board lately, and it's starting to really not cut a straight line anymore, but I have no substitute, so I'm clinging to it slavishly. We'll score here with the pointy guy here, and cut things up with a craft knife. I'm going to put Shrek away again for the moment, clean this up, and we'll think about cutting some paper.